Hello, this is vlog 2. Gonna be going over chapter 7 in reading pop culture. The first essay is by Knox on novel reading. In Knox's essay, he explains how books are a gateway to our imagination and creativity. A big point he brings up is how accessible books are to everyone, including young kids. He brings up the point that because it's very accessible, kids might be exposed to ideas that they shouldn't really know at a young age. He says the best books for young people would be the ones with decent humor. I completely agree. I think humor just gravitates more towards young kids, and not having them focus on very heavy and mature topics is it's a good thing. The next essay I'm going to be going over is by Robin Brenner, Teen Literature and Fan Culture. In this essay, Brenner talks about the influence of fan fiction and how it has impacted literature itself. Fan fiction is a way of fans making their own spin on worlds and universes that were created by different authors, making their own endings in alternative timelines. Fan fiction has become a big culture with huge forums and debates, and with the popularity of this growing, fan fiction has become more legit, and some storylines and alternate universes have been confirmed as canon by the original authors, and that's just great, the fact that the it has gained so much popularity that even the authors themselves have to accept it, that it's really good story, and might as well add it to the head canon. The next essay that I'm going to be going over is by Rose, The Art of Immersion, Fear or Fiction. In this essay, Rose explains how the entertainment business has evolved with technology. He gives us an example using Wiesman, who has created a creative oversight in Microsoft Video Games division. This includes Xbox and the Halo games that were coming out at that time. He didn't really care about the video games themselves, but the story. He wanted to figure out ways to show his story to more people and to use the internet organically for storytelling. Halo was one of the first games that had major story, like a big, huge story. Um, that had great immersion. And after that, I believe video games were never the same. They were not your regular run-in-the-mill shooter. Now there's games with 20 plus hours. I've personally played a video game that was 40 plus hours, and that's unmatched. This is the only platform where you're gonna get that much storytelling. In movies, you'll probably get 3, 4 hours max. In TV shows, you could probably get an hour an episode, max, 10, 15. There's no other platform that could give you 40 hours of storytelling. And Wiesman was a big factor in that. The next essay I'm going to be going over is Klosterman's essay. In this essay, the author compares zombies to an average person today. He makes an argument that our routine in the way of life is very similar to a zombie. A zombie is lifeless, lazy, and have no imagination. The author says with technology and no influx in our daily routines, we have become, in some ways, like a zombie like. And I could agree with that. Most of us don't change our routine. We like doing our day-to-day routines without any change. With technology, you see people like play video games or stare at their phone and the entire day without doing anything. And what do zombies do? Nothing. And when you're on your phone, you're doing nothing. So, yeah, I could agree with that. The next essay I'm going to be going over is Barack. And in this essay, the author talks about the feeling of missing out on something, especially information and announcements. This is a psychological issue that some people have worse than others. And with today's technology, it has really made this issue a lot worse, especially with news and announcements being very accessible to everyone because of their phones and and computers and stuff like that. There's too much information. You can't know everything. You can't learn everything. And if you realize that, you break out of those chains and you'll stop worrying about everything else and you start focusing on the things that matter to you the most. The last essay is by Moore. In this essay, the author focuses on gaming. Gaming has become a huge industry, making billions of dollars each year in microtransactions and just the games itself. The author makes the argument that local multiplayer is a better way to play than online multiplayer. Um, he debates that it is just a different setting. It allows for more personal connections with other gamers. Having a local multiplayer, LAN is what the gamers call it. This practice has become rare in the recent years because of how online multiplayer has become more accessible and easier to get. There's no additional money when you're doing online multiplayer. You don't have to buy any extra controllers or buy any extra consoles. You just log into your account and you're good to go to play with all your friends. Our society has different views on gaming, on whether it is positive or negative influence. I believe it depends on the person. Um, if you are out there not being careful, giving out information, and playing an absurd amount of hours, then yes, it can be a negative thing. And that's a big thing. That's a big issue that is going on today. But it's not the gaming industry itself, but the gamers themselves. And that's the all the essays in chapter 7. Yeah, thank you.